Hi guys! Time to do a translation really quick, which I'm excited about, honestly. I feel the energy to let's translate. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Um, feeling like confirmation. You're dwelling. Are you dwelling? Are you dwelling? That you have what you need, but you're looking somewhere else, where there was a loss. It's feeling like a death, honestly, like an actual physical death, not like a loss of a job, but you know, if your boss or something died, or a person whose company it is died, then yeah, you might lose your job. So it's one of those aspects for sure. Hey, you have what you need already. It's just a balance. You have a balance. That's so excelente. It's like an angel is giving you a balance. Which is causing things to bloom. Things are going to begin to bloom. Because you have what you need, but you lost something. And you're dwelling, but you have what you need already. Let's get 3 more cards. Let me get 3 more cards. That's so intriguing to me. Whoa. That's so intriguing to me. You got judgment on what you're dwelling on. Something that you lost is going with judgment. That is an angel. Angel is giving you a balance. That's so excelente. And it is in the health aspect. That is so awesome. That's why you have what you need already. And with the angel being your balance, it's like this is inner work. It's like my neck tattoo, how it says grace, but to some people they would say it's backwards, but it's like the grace is in the inside. What you need already is in it already. It's one of those aspects. That's why it's judgment based. And it gives a balance. And you got the King of Pentacles. Manifesting, or you want to begin to manifest. And you have a balance with somebody. That's so intriguing. This is so intriguing. It's in the dark too. That's the other part. That's why you're dwelling. This is it right here. That's so intriguing. The way these cards is lined up in the way this translation go. This making me feel like a translation I did before, as into it was saying your spouse got somebody pregnant, but that baby is the baby could be what brings you two together. It's like that angel, that type of coming together from that. You know, people they love babies usually. They be you know, they bring it closer. It's that type of energy when it's talk about an angel. It's like bringing a balance for you, it's guiding you. And then what you're dwelling on, you have a balance with somebody. But the person you have a balance with, they're not fully fulfilled because you're given somewhere else. This is the energy of a married man, or I would say a married man, just for an example, but I'm sure it happens a lot. Um, a married man having a wife, but he's going to this. He's not supporting her needs and goals for her career, for y'all foundation. He goes to the strip club and provide for them to build their foundation, because they're getting the money so they can start setting themselves up the way they need. It's that. But the one you actually have a balance with is like deprived, because that's so intriguing. This is so intriguing. This translation is intriguing. I tell you no lie. It's like where you're giving, you're satisfied, and the other person is satisfied, like the guy going to the strip club, because they're able to start building their foundation the way that they need because you're giving to them. But where you have a balance at, they feel deprived because you are their foundation to make them grow, but you're not supporting in the right area, if that makes sense, where your actual balance is at. And that's the balance card, which is right at the top of it. They have the balance. You're given somewhere else. This is your balance, and this is you giving to somebody else, which is making their foundation go well. But where you have a balance at, where it's you're over here occupied, so you're messing up your balance. But you are helping support somebody else, so hey. It's just your foundation not gonna grow. It's not yours. You're just helping somebody else because you have a balance, but your foundation ain't balanced because you're somewhere else. Then the King of I said the King. Yeah, I said it right. The King of Pentacles, you're able to manifest right now. And they go to Cups right behind you. Your attention is in the wrong area. That's so intriguing. That's why it's not balanced, where your Cups is at. That's why you're dwelling too. Dwelling. Because you're busy giving your attention somewhere else, you have what you need. It may seem like more, like what was lost. It's 3 endings right here, but you have what you need right there. But you're over here dwelling. It's like you're fulfilled, but you're not. It's like I can't explain that better. I can explain it not. It's the only way I can explain it. It's like a company ending or something. Then you just gotta figure out, like, what do I do now? But you have what you need already. It's part of judgment. Like, to listen to yourself. And it's funny because it got the 20 on it, the judgment. And this is your guidance too, that's going with your balance. Your judgment is connected to your balance. Complement of angel assistance. That is so intriguing. And this is just catching my attention just because I feel it's important. On the angel assistance, you see them like little light beams coming out the head. This is definitely operating off the crown chakra for real. That's the only way you can be able to get your balance. And this card said temperance, but this is a balance. It's the balance, which will make things bloom. But you're definitely in blooming time because you're the King of Pentacles. And you got a lot of freaking foundation behind you. And it's like you know it. But you're so busy somewhere else. Your attention's somewhere else. In this aspect. You have what you need, but you over here giving. But while you're giving, you're dwelling at the same time. Because you only have one. It's like you're set enough because you have a balance and you're able to give it to somebody else, but you only have one manifestation because yours, I can't really see, is over here. But you're not supporting in the right area because you over here. That is just so intriguing. I tell you no lie, it's a little sad, but it's just intriguing. Cause this is like the heavy traffic I be talking about a lot of times. Things like this cause heavy traffic. Cause this is sneaky business for sure. That's why it's in the dark. This is the six is on it. It's a light in the dark situation. How so intriguing, I must say. Let's see what our traveler deck got. That is just so intriguing, I'll tell you no lie. Yeah, the balance is in your home. Where you're giving is outside of home. It's just like, I said it, but then I'm actually still looking at this card. Because, you know, I do light in the dark situations. This is my work. This is what I do. And it's like, just like what I said. It's a guy who have a wife. It's that type of a, because you have a balance with this person. But you're giving somewhere else. Like you go to the strip club and give all your money in that aspect. Like you are supporting somebody else's foundation and not yours. But you're not understanding why, you know, you're not evolving. But the people that you are helping seem like they are, if that makes sense. What made me say that? Because I said I was looking at the card. Where your balance at is a castle back there. That means they're in the home with you. This one is outside of the home. You're giving outside of the home, for sure. Now we move over to the traveler deck, since we want to travel outside the home. There's nothing wrong with traveling outside the home, you know. Like you wouldn't get nothing done if you didn't travel outside the home, metaphorically. But it's the lack of honesty in this one. I already picked that up. But this is like a perfect sell-off energy. But it's a heavy traffic one. But the same like honesty ain't in this one. That's why it's in the dark. But there's so much light on the balance. Like, that's why I said, this is supposed to be thriving time. You got the sun back there and you got flowers on the other side. Like, it's natural blooming. And then the water is coming, like, through the angel to balance the situation out. Like, the angel is giving the balance. That is so excelente. When I say an angel, it could be an individual like me. Like a human, it could be in human form. It could be your pet. Signs. It's just something that you will recognize as giving you guidance. God, you know, Jesus. Something of that aspect is guiding you. But I actually want to say it's a human. But funnily, I'm thinking of the eternal. You know how things are eternal. Humans are eternal. Things are disinternal. So it's kind of hard to just say human. Because like the eternal realm is human too. They got emotions. That's intriguing. Like, is that what makes a person a human? Because they have emotions? Even though I know we can voice, you know, like this, and the animal can't voice it. I forgot to introduce my guests. But speaking of the other side, these are human too. They operate quite well too. And this seems like this is the angel that's guiding. This seems like this the angel. I love my skull a whole bunch. But yeah, I feel like I just got a little sidetracked, but it's okay. But that's just the balance. It's so intriguing. Because even with me just saying that, it's just like death will bring you to your spouse. Like, will bring you guys together, if that makes sense. That seemed like something that's through in there. Like, it's important. It's a side note, but an important side note at the same time. It's that type of balance. That's what me saying angel guidance. When I think of angel guidance, I naturally do think of aspects like this, the other side that you don't naturally see, but you know is there. Other than a person like me, you can see me, but some people say you're not an angel, you're just a human. Like, alrighty then. Apparently, you don't practice chakras or anything of that nature, so you wouldn't understand. But you'll catch up eventually. I did, and still am. So there's no worries there. Even though sometimes I'd still drive myself crazy because I forget everybody don't think like me. Their level of awareness ain't the same as mine. But it's kind of funny now because my household, where I'm staying at, I caught up to them. Well, it's like I circled back to them, if that makes sense. Like they actually get to see what I do, what my work is. Because before I normally focus when it comes to like all things matter, animals, lives matter too. You know, the eternal side matters. I was stuck in that aspect for a long time. I still am, but there's a lot of other aspects when it comes to what lives matter, what matters, and bringing and stopping shame in it. There's nothing you should be ashamed of, if that makes sense. That's how I started off, silence and shame. Where did I do that? I did that on my, I believe, Little Ginger the Barbie, but I think it's on my story blends too. I got a lot of aspects to me, and I move very quickly, but that's what at the moment I'm working now is my story blends. I got something else going on too, complement to this one that I'm working on, but I know, but I'm just working on it and I'm excited in that aspect. It's just evolving. There's ways to evolve what I naturally do all the time. And I'm just expressing this side of my creation now, other than doing it in this form of a way. Even though it's one of the same, but as I keep saying, he knows how to communicate with his children, and we identify as his children. So there's so many different angles that I have to keep looping back through. You know, I keep backtracking a circle, which keeps driving me crazy, but it's getting more understandable, even with me being in the situation I'm in now, and the understanding of it. When it comes to same-sex relations, it's part of all the same aspects, and I happen to live in a household that works off that aspect. So it's just nice to come and hit this topic, asking to, oh, you thought my job was a joke, huh? I bet you pay attention now. Need a lift. That's excellent, dude. Do you need a lift? Like, it's like a comforting feeling. This is not like a ride or something. It could be, maybe. But this is feeling like a lift, like something that you feel bad about. Like, why do you feel bad about that? It's like a song that's in my head asking to, who says you gotta be like everyone else? It's like one of those, like a reminder. Do you need a reminder? That's that. Do you need a lift? Do you need a lift? Do you need a reminder of eternal love? You know, always there, all seeing, all knowing. Do you need one of those? Okay. But people sometimes when the form they get it in, they don't expect it to be in that form. Or some do, but it just take a hot minute for them to get to that level, if that makes sense, of awareness. I got a couple more to come out. Put on the brakes. Oh boy. And it's that energy too. Whatever's in the dark, wherever you given, put the brakes to it. You have to fix that. You're messing up something that should be thriving. You're causing heavy traffic. That's the brakes. When you think of heavy traffic, you have to keep stopping. You're hardly not going nowhere. You gotta put the brakes on. That's just like what I've been saying right now. Like, what's at the bottom right here? Resting in God's lap. Come talk to sin about it. But I was being sarcastic, but seriously, you know, childlike faith. You go sit on Santa's lap and tell Santa what you want, and If it's meant for you, so then make sure it happened for you. If not, then it was not meant for you. But it feels better when you get something off your chest. You know, you tell somebody something. You know, even though sometimes people get upset by that, even with me just saying that. You ask for something, you go sit on Santa's lap, and you think Santa gonna give you everything, but if you ask for something and then you don't get it, it's just like, oh, Santa, I can't believe in you no more because I thought you're supposed to give me everything I want. It's not that type of aspect. Because even in this aspect, people get things that they want, but when they actually receive it, it's just like, no, 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 no. I didn't know it was going to come in that form. I changed my mind, but it's too late. You already manifested it. It's one of those aspects. But I was talking about same sex because we in that aspect of a season where it's all the time, but I'm using seasons because this always come around at a certain time of the year, even though it carries out. It's just be different angles of it. Um, we got a whole year, so why not expand it, huh? But just hopefully in a positive aspect of a form. Um, Flasher's prayer. Caution. Because I was looked over. I'm gonna get to what I'm gonna say. Put these cards down for a minute. They want to speak. I want to speak too. We all want to speak at the same time. That's another thing. Put the brakes on. Everybody can't talk at the same time. That's that energy. You gotta. It's just like what I said. Even what I keep trying to say, but I keep getting a little distracted. A little bit. Energy want to speak. And this is flasher prayer. Something's wrong. It's like the caution sign. Something's not right. You're not building your foundation the way you're supposed to. It's like you're in your own way. Your foundation is way back here. Like that's all yours, but you're in the way. When you're supposed to be blooming right now. You're the king of freaking pentacles. But the king of pentacles is messing up his balance. Because overgiving in a different aspect. Which that's the heavy traffic. And the flasher prayer is, you might need to pray on it, honestly. A lot of people, even me, it was intriguing because I actually went to the prayer room. And I never understood why I went to the prayer room. This is that type of energy where it's time to pray on your relationship, honestly. I hear people speak of it, you know, but you have to pray. You have to pray on your marriage. It's like hard to give one example as to how you do that. You just have to pray on it. Like, it's a step before your foundation start to crumble. Even though this foundation don't seem like it will crumble, honestly, it's just heavy traffic. It's not excelling like it's supposed to because you have heavy traffic, because your spouse is somewhere else. You gotta call your spouse back. Come back. Come back. Come. I feel like Titanic. Oh my Jesus. Pardon my intriguing behavior sometimes, but me saying that and the way I feel, it's like Titanic, the end scene where the boats came looking for people to see if there was any survivors out there. And they were about to pass her, but she couldn't hardly speak because it was so cold. She was in the water. And she was like, come back. Come back. Pardon my laughter, Jesus, because I'm laughing because my mind, well, I feel like I want to choke. I'm not actually laughing. Ha ha ha. I'm actually, getting the chugga of excitement just because it's intriguing to me that scene would come in my head for that type of energy. But it's that draining. You're not excelling like you're supposed to. Nobody really like to be in heavy traffic for too long. It might be okay for a while, but eventually you're going to be like, okay, now you're going to want to move, but you can't move at the moment. That's why I said this foundation don't seem like it'll crumble. It's just going to be on hold for a long time. You might have to even circle it back. That's the intriguing part. Put brakes on, but something gonna be stopping. Like a literally stop, because it's a flasher prayer. It's time to pray, and it's going with judgment. These cards go together for what I just said. The traveler deck, judgment, and your partner giving it in a different area. You have to pray on it. Put on brakes. I wonder what that is. I think I want another card from tarot. I feel like I already explained it, but I'll make it somewhere really quick. But it's like it's already heavy traffic. Then you got the brakes on all the way. You gotta stop. Probably gotta stop. They gotta stop. Stop or bring together. Honestly, that's exactly what it is. Stop or bring it together. That's the solutions in it. Because this card came out as into you're with somebody, but you're over here too. You have something else over here. And that's that same energy with this. But it has to get put on brakes to fix it. Like what you can't go on this way. That's funny too. It's the 3 and then the 6. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And then it's in the dark. That's why you can't escape this. This is like one of those meant to play out blueprints. You're not going to escape it. You can circle back through it as to how I keep doing it. And you keep learning something each time you go through that lesson. And it's part of the ultimate sacrifice that starts at the beginning of the year. The way I recognize it anyway. Black Lives Matter, that aspect. It has so many twists and angles to it. And this is one of those aspects. Because it's based off the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I feel adultery in this area. This is like, it's one of those ones when it's speak of those commandment aspects. I feel like that type of energy, honestly. Which is like you got to stop and evaluate the situation as to how you want to play this out. There was 4. Did I have a 4? There wasn't a 4 that came out. That was just 3, 5, and 6. I had a 4 mixed with 14. But that goes with the temperance, with the balance. And then these 2 cards came out too, so I grabbed them. Communication. So awesome. You're having divine communication. That's where your balance at. Wherever you can have divine communication, that's your balance. And they got the 10 on it. That's the 9. That's the 9. So that's your foundation. Like your foundation is behind you, but you're in your own way. Because you have divine communication with somebody. Like you can communicate from a distance. This understanding of an aspect. Like you're speaking like this, but it's from a distance. It's not like, think of this as a human. My name is, hi, I'm Guy. This is Guy. This is Guy. But it's not in this aspect. It's like from this aspect. But it can come in this form. When I talk about how we are angels, I'm traveling down a block now, but I have to speak on it because it's important. As into shadow work that's at play too. Operated from the eternal realm, but using us as an angel form to communicate, if that makes sense. You have that happening. And that's your foundation. You know that is behind you, but you are in your own way. Because this got the 9 on it. You know where your foundation at, but you just I think the heavy traffic got you just like you might not. It might not seem like the best, but it really is. You got the 10 on it. It's the balance. Like look at all those manifestations you got, and it's going with the King of Pentacles. That is so intriguing. Where was that 20 at? The 20 is on the Judgment. That is so intriguing to me. And then you got the Ace of Swords. Justice is being served. Nice. Justice got a crown on it too. Is that my crown? I'll be saying it because this is true. Queen Elizabeth got my god dog on crown. How did that happen? I don't know. History somewhere made a turn. But it's that aspect. I say life made a turn because history let us know that there was a lot of hijacking going on. And then this is the divine realm doing it. The divine realm is given. Like, here you go. It reminds me, that's so funny with that being said. That is part of judgment. That things will be returned. Oh man, that is so freaking awesome. A lot of believers should be really happy off that aspect. Seriously. It's like the weight ain't, it's not for no reason. Is that what you're telling me in my ear? That the weight is not for no reason. Because the heavy traffic may, that's why I said it may not seem like the best, but it is. And it got the stone behind it too. This is the eternal realm. And it got the one on there. This is the eternal realm. Coming through, serving justice. Do you see the stones back there? And we want to reflect too. That goes with the shadow work that I was speaking on. Did I explain it all the way? At the moment, I can say shadows are communicating with each other. Just being around somebody, your shadow is communicating with them, whether you know it or not. It's like another way to teleport, if that makes sense, to communicate. And the shadows are doing it. Eternal realm is doing it. And a lot of people don't even know. Like, I've been realizing it a lot. Like, I feel like I want to give an example. You say something to somebody, and then you somewhere and you hear somebody else say something that you said, if that makes sense. I hope I'm saying it right. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's not. I think that was a good way to explain it. It's just shadows speaking. Some people would say demons, you know, because it's like, I don't see it and it's doing all this stuff. That's so not right. How many of you guys say, when a person died, watch after me, look after me? I'm pretty sure a good amount of you says that. And, you know, hellos. Jesus, this energy. This is good energy, but it's so slow. And it's got conniving energy in it. But justice is gonna have it be fixed anyway. But it seemed like the solution would be bringing it together. But it's like, even if you was to cut one of them off, I feel like you're gonna circle back. That's what I said. It's like the best thing to do is to come together. Where you're given that, it's already a balance. It's like you build that foundation up enough where it's a balance. But it's not your balance, because you have a balance somewhere else, but you're not supporting that balance. Even though guidance is telling you to. So this can be a smooth sailing or a merry-go-round. That's like the two options in this energy at the moment. You can keep spinning around the same cycle, because if you're not learning it or you're trying to fight against it, or you can sail out like what you're supposed to do. Like your foundation is in order. It's in order. I feel like order in the court. Ha! Ka-chows! My behavior sometimes, Jesus, but seriously, you're supposed to be selling like this, but you're not. There's no movement, because you're over in this aspect. And look, that's why I keep stressing. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over, but this energy is just like, we're gonna pop out on you. Pow. We're gonna pop out on you. We're given that. How can I explain that? I mean, what I'm getting at is your foundation has lined up already, but you're in your own way. The foundation is lined up with you. It's not seeming that much because it's only 2 cups, but you have a whole freaking. It's like lined up perfectly. It's like what's at the end of the rainbow? Understanding. And there's 2 cups too right there. That might be a sign of that too. How I said, just bring it together. Oh, that is so freaking awesome. That's just what's gonna freaking happen. There's 3 cups knocked over. You realize you can't hide no more. What you had in the dark, you can't hide no freaking more. You're gonna bring them together. It's no longer a 3 of a separation. It's together. It's 2. That is excelente. And it got the 5, and that's where you're gonna turn. They're gonna bring it together. It's all gonna come together. That's so excelente. That's so awesome. Let's see what our magic deck got for us. Rest in God's lap. That's another thing too. I spoke of sex recently. I was saying it's not a good time to release at the moment. This energy also is coming off as into it could be a good time. It's going to awaken you. Rest in God's lap. When I have on the course, that's normally what I say, oh my God. Because it's like, it's a light and dark situation. You're receiving, you're communicating without even realizing you're communicating. So that's definitely that. I feel like need a lift, need a reminder. Put on your brakes, stop whatever you're doing. Evaluate. Flasher's prayer. It's time to pray. It's not right. You don't want to keep circling the same cycle of no bueno. Definitely when you know better. That's the thing. That's what gets me. Like, knowing better and not knowing better. Like, a lot of people sometimes, they think about things that I've done in the past and just like, but you did that and you did that. I didn't know better. You didn't expect me to grow, to evolve. It's intriguing. Because I know I evolved in a very beautiful way. I just have mentally, I'm just perfect. There's always been, but I have learned myself more and not who somebody told me who I should be or things of that nature. It's like when you're a child, at least for me anyway, I'm just going to give you a little summary of me really quick. When you're a child, you don't ever get to learn who you is. And then once I became an adult, I had a child at 21. And then I still didn't get to learn myself because I was so busy focusing on my son. And then other stuff happened. You know, living with somebody else, I never actually got a chance to learn myself, if that makes sense. So it's one of those type of aspects of understanding. What is that? It's like, this is on hind legs, hidden aspects. It's like you're rushing to get something. You're rushing to get something. This is... Let me show you the image while I'm trying to explain it. It's like you're rushing to get something, but then the horse you're riding on, legs go up. It's like on a movie how, you know, the way I know how to explain it, on a movie where you're a cowboy or a cowgirl riding on a horse, and then the horse just, legs go up. It's like it's gonna make you fall off or something while you're trying to accomplish something. You're trying to reach for something. That goes with that. What is it? Stop brakes. That come on, yeah. Put on brakes. Whatever you're trying to reach, just stop. Or it's like you're going to be stopped. This horse is coming up on his hind legs while you're trying to grab something. And then the final destination came out. You're almost at your foundation. The tree came out. And then it's like a destination back there where the flag is at. It's like you see your destination, but you're not there. And it's family based. You're ready to start building your foundation. It's like how I've been explaining too. I can really see where I can be at in 10 years. I know it's not there, but I can see it. And I've always been one who had a problem in that area where people would say, where do you see yourself at in 10 years? Like, yo, do I look like a Hello Miss Cleo? Do you not realize people plan things all the time and things happen out of nowhere? Then you have to start all the way over. Then you be upset because you thought you were supposed to be there. 10 years can come, you can get it, and then it crumbled. Then you gotta go way back there. It's more like a bucket list to me. But to each his own. And I say it in that form, but it's like, I now can see it, but even as I am still working, there's twists and angles to it still. Even though I see where I will be at in 10 years, I know it probably will take 10 years to get there, but it's nice to actually see where you will be at in 10 years, if that makes sense. And it's foundation based. So that is so nice to know. This energy is coming off as so much sex energy. I tell you no lie. This is kinky energy right here. This is same sex energy. Also, the energy that I just explained that too, but I keep receiving more off of it as into this is like you're having sex with somebody and they have to be facing you and you start playing with their middle area. Like you start playing with their dick. It's that type of energy. That's just what that is. Because that's the hind legs standing up. And what you're trying to reach is them. And then that could be the final destination. Or would get you to your foundation. So that is just very intriguing and nice to know. Everything else is quite smooth. All this energy is smooth. Except something gotta be fixed. And even with me just saying that this is same-sex energy, that might be the aspect where your partner is at. Your partner might be off with a boy or something of that nature, a guy. That's where your spouse could be at. Which that gotta be a stop. Either bring it together or just keep circling this lesson. Because it's meant to come together. It's just right here. One of you are having divine communication by it. Wherever your balance is at, y'all can communicate from a distance. And it seemed like have been. There's a lot of manifestations up here. It's just so many angles. And whatever y'all building, whatever your foundation, whatever your foundation is, it's a lot of aspects to it. And it's funny because it's just like how I sat there and said, it seemed like they're face to face. But it's a distance. It's this type of communication. But as I sat there and said, when you're dealing with the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the angel could be helping in that where it seemed like it is face to face. And that shadow's communicating through each other. Which this is some deep energy, I must say. Because it's just like, I explained this already, honestly, in one of my, I think my last translation I just did. I mean the same example I just used though. You have a husband, you have a balance with somebody, which would be your husband, but he's out given to somebody else, and it seems to be a guy. That guy may have been brought into manifestation to prove eternal love, a oneness connection. That would have been the angel assistance. As so you can't hide it. You think you're doing something in the dark, but funnily you have brought this into a manifestation of a real life form. If that makes sense. That's why I said this won't crumble. It just either can be brought together or circle. And not in a good way. Things just get more extreme. You can see history repeats over and over. But there's so many aspects to it because they keep getting missed. And denial is one of those aspects. I keep speaking on it. I even said recently, it seemed like honesty is playing a really big part. You have to be honest in this situation. If you're not honest in it, it's going to circle back. It's meant to bring awareness. And if you're not bringing awareness to it because you're denying it, it's going to circle back. Intensified. And that's just what history keep doing. And people keep missing it. And this energy, I feel like that's what that is. That's how this energy is operating when it comes to the angel form. It's going through one of the physical human people. And they may be the ones that's having face-to-face communication. Maybe. But you have a connection with somebody. Already you have a balance with somebody. You're just not feeding that balance with you somewhere else. But you're not realizing how it's all connected anyway. That's the intriguing part. That's probably why you got the sun and the flower. It's gonna bloom. It's like you think you're hiding, but it's coming together. That's the intriguing part, honestly. I think I want one more card from the Traveler deck, then I'm gonna wrap it up. You're in your own way of your foundation. It is thriving time. This is not the time to be in Tao's own way. Oh, man. That's why I say it's a little sad. Like, man. Heavy traffic is nice. I get to get rest and stuff, but it's just like, I know I'm a natural manifester. I manifest every day, honestly, but when you have a connection and they somewhere else, it throws things off. It's like you're supposed to be selling this way. You're supposed to be building, but you can't build at the moment because where'd that card go? Your partner attention is somewhere else. But where the person's attention is at is going to wind up coming over here anyway when they realize the connection of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit and how it's communicating like in an angel form. If that makes sense. So that was nice. I see why I needed to translate really quick. Who's following you? What an intriguing question. Who's following you? That just goes exactly like what I just sat there and said. How you think you're doing something sneaky, but you're not. It's coming together. Compliments of I'm always with you. It's your spouse. It's your shadow. The part. That's exactly what that freaking is. You think you're doing something sneaky. It's like sometimes, like right now, I can't see my shadow. So I might do something I normally wouldn't do because it's like, you're not freaking here. But really is still there. It's one of those. Like, that's deep. That's awesome. People probably get freaked out by that. But it's like, you gotta be careful um, who you have intercourse with, honestly. I know you could probably have a connection like this outside of it. I have received a communication outside of marriage, getting pregnant. Um, but it's fundamentally honest that I asked my son to marry me, honestly, when he was a baby. It was just random, but I felt like I would have that type of a commitment with him where it just was like, oh my God, will you marry me? And he actually told me he loves me very early. Like, I want to say he was like maybe 4 months, maybe. He clear, clear. It was clear. Not one of those, it sounded like you said it, but clearly said, I love you. And I was like, oh my God, it melted my freaking heart because you don't think that something so young will understand and be able to say something so clear, you know? So I thought that was so awesome. But even in that aspect, I put myself in that type of bond, but it wasn't no paperwork, you know. It just a connection that I already realized was needed and would already happen. Because they, you know, they say you're supposed to be married before you have kids or even intercourse. Um, I wasn't with his father, but you know, I just felt the need to make that type of commitment. Um, give joy always. Give thanks always. Recognition always. That's making me think of something else. Give joy always. I feel like it's things, but it's another aspect in it. I want to say appreciation. That might go where your balance is at. It might need to be a need to give appreciation in that aspect. I feel that song, but I'm feeling really unappreciated, taking my love for granted. I don't know. Oh my Jesus, how much fun? It's that aspect. It's where your balance is at. Like me, I know I naturally manifest every day. It's like, how am I not evolving? It's your spouse, they're somewhere else. But they have the balance for y'all to grow. It was meant for y'all to come together to grow. So that's so intriguing, I must say. But I'm about to wrap it up. Are we finna wrap it up? So remember, guys, be kind. You are a reflection.